And while all these details are being looked into, let's take you through information on what had happened on the flight AI-171 on the previous sector that moved from Delhi to Ahmedabad. Now, that report that was flagged on the stabilizer sensor transducer. But what is this sensor transducer and what does it do? The sensor basically communicates with the flight control system. So it is responsible for sending and transmitting data to the flight control system. Why it is important? Because the center is the tool that is responsible for controlling up and down movement of the nose of the plane, and the data that it transmits to the control system is what helps pilots draw their inputs from. So it ensures accuracy. That is the job of the sensor transducer. Now, any sort of malfunction may trigger fuel control anomaly. So remember, this is a very important aspect that is also being looked into as a part of the larger probe that continues. Let me cut across to Amit Bhardwaj joining us live from Delhi with further details of what had happened on the previous flight from Delhi to Ahmedabad, this particular report that was flagged, and then the maintenance engineer who had created troubleshoot and then given it a clearance. Why has that made it to the preliminary report?
Well, Shweta, all angles in regards to AI-171, that is the Boeing Dreamliner craft, is being taken into account by the investigators at this point in time. And this would include the log sheets of the craft as well, which means that, on the day when the flight was taking off from Ahmedabad, every log sheet, every book, engine report that has been given, which is an automated system report as well generated by the craft, all of that is being looked into. Along with that, the original equipment manufacturers have been also roped in to check as to whether their technical aspects of each of these components of Air India was in right place or not. And in this particular process, the old documents of the craft is also being taken into account, because these are voluntary compliance declarances which are being which is usually done by the flight operators. And in this case, Air India must have already done those declarations from their side as well. So each of these angles are being looked into as to whether there were any sort of compliance issue, whether a particular fuel control switch or sensor stabilizer had malfunctioned in the past as well, and what corrective measures were taken into account after that. And if at all there would be any sort of compliance violation, that will be also taken into account by the investigators